you don't know. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving, shout it, you don't know. Hey, I ain't tripping, tell the truth, it's really you don't know. Yeah, you know they call me T.I., but you don't know. You be hating and I see why, cause you don't know.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This is welcome to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. And you're about to watch Out of Bounds with T-Rex, Duck, and Big Hen. All right. Bring him on in there, producer. Hey, what's up, Duck?
How you doing? What's up, Big Henry?
What's up, Henry? How y'all doing, man?
What's up, Terry? All's good.
So what's good? How is life doing for you guys down in Tennessee? Okay.
Man, in the Memphis area, everything is good, man. Coming off a loss to the Lakers, but that was a real stinger for us. But there's always next year. So, but we're gonna get behind the Titans in football. We're gonna see what's up with that.
And I'm always good, you know. Win, lose, or draw. You know, I'm what you call Grizzlies first, Lakers second. So now my second is my number one.
That's your number one. So you was gonna win no matter what. That's what you saying.
I got LeBron when he's back in Cleveland. So I'm riding.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get started, fellas. Let's talk about little current events here. I want to talk about two TV icons on two separate channels. Both got fired. We'll start with Fox News and talk about Tucker Carlson. What do you think that got Tucker terminated? Do you have any idea why he got terminated?
Well, Duck, if you permit me to go first. I'm just going to give a little bit of background about Tucker, and I'll give you my honest opinion here. This is 2024, or 23. Just remember that. Tucker basically was known for his extreme positions on a range of political and social issues, for his embrace of white nationalism also, and his authoritarian leaders of other countries, and also his misleading claims that he did. What is sad is that this guy has over 3 million followers, man. And the people that are actually listening or did listen to him, he made some very radical comments. That is one of the reasons why he was let go, because of his comments. And in this day and time, you can't be as vocal as he is about the affairs that he's concerned with.
Ooh, that was good. What you got, Doug?
Now, one of the things about it, I'm thinking a $20 million man, you know, one thing about it, he's a $20 million network person. So his visibility is whatever he says is because of, one, the dollars is allowing him to say it. So even though he felt that he's done some, as we are doing now, we're doing some edging. We're on the edge of a lot of things, but he was on the edge for his people that supported him. Fox News, he knew exactly what their demeanor is like. One reason, I guess, that they settled, because Fox News had to actually back up from doing what they do as a whole. So even though he got fired, they say, for vulgar language, and reaching that point of, I'm always thinking, that's not the first time he probably said that vulgar type of language. You know, when you have $20 million and you have a network of people behind you, whether or not they're surrounding you, he felt like he was above his worth. They can't get rid of me, you know, for the same reason Big Bang just said. You know, he's got followers.
Well, they got rid of him,
and all about ratings.
Yeah, and according to the article that Fox wrote itself, that he was systematically lying. I guess that was due back to the Donald Trump era, when he was saying that, you know, make America great, that they was correct, that Donald Trump was still president. Apparently, he was bullying people on the set. And biggest thing that you said earlier was the doggone lawsuit that he had with that voting machine company. He just, was it $787 million, something like that they settled for, just because he was. I mean, I would let him go too. I mean, let's be for real. I mean, people understand Fox News, well, the Tucker Show, and it was more entertainment than news. But I think most people's taking it as news. So I'm not saying that he wasn't putting out valid things, because I'm not going to put the station or myself at risk. But I believe, he stretched it a little bit. So with that being said, I want to shift to another network and ask you a question about CNN. Why they fired Don Lemon?
Duck.
Yeah, let me go first on this one, Henry. Don Lemon, it's amazing how he ended up being caught, because he saw it on the news, or he heard it from his agent. He heard from some situation, instead of a face-to-face, you are fired. So that's what he said. That's what he said. But he knows, again, same thing. It wasn't the first time his language has been reached to the extreme to where he said what he said, pertaining to the, what is it, misogyny or the misbehavior attitudes that he had. So it's hard to say against women, knowing his, they say his sexual preference. Now, I think it's all a joke. I think people are put in status on TV for a reason. They do what they do, and they do it well. And Don Lemon was a great voice for the activities and circulating the news. Now, his behavior and what it was with his coworkers, because I love Soledad. What's her name? Soledad? Soledad O'Brien?
Yes. I forgot.
Yes. Well, the accusers in this case, they're very likable people. So it's like anything else. I think everybody's trying to reach and make sure that they're getting respected. And I think Don might have stretched a little bit and went across that line to where respectability was there for his coworkers.
I agree.
Man, I agree 100% with what Duck said. Duck basically hit the nail on the head with everything that I was going to say as well, because you've got to have a code of corporate conduct. Is what you got to do, and you got to be able to adhere to those rules and regulations. And when and I forget the old saying, I don't get my check where I work or something. I can't remember how it is, but man, you got to abide by the rules and regulations. If there's something outside of that, then you have to do that. But Duck, you said it best, man. 100%. I agree with you 100%. Dude had some good points. He had some questionable points, but his sexual moralities got to him.
Well, from my understanding, again, this is what I picked off the CNN network. The reason why they let Don go was one of the things that got him. He was on that morning show with two young ladies, and he said that I think she's a senator, Nikki Haley, said that she was past her prime, and women took offense to that. They took offense to that, and what he was talking about was their prime. It's on it. He said check it on the internet, and it is from 20 to the late 40s. That's their prime. But they took it as that he was saying that she was washed up. So that got him going there. Then he said it on prime time, so it was no way he can deny it. He called one of the producers, allegedly. I'm reading. I don't know. I wasn't there. Allegedly, he called one of the producers fat. You can't do that because that's discrimination. And
absolutely,
they said that he was a sexist, like you said earlier. So I think both firings coming at the same time look more like it was a systematic thing that they was washing their hands. As far as Tucker, I think Tucker didn't know he was going to get it. But as far as Don Lemon, he should have understood one thing. When Chris Coleman was gone, he was next. And he didn't recognize that. So he kept it going. And but I think everybody's got a loss rest of their contract. But that's how it goes, man. I mean, you can't go on the news and say what you feel unless you're on a show that's not actually the news. Because if you're talking about the news, people want facts, not your opinion. And I think when you start giving your opinion on a newscast, I mean, it's a personal show. I can get it. But with Tucker just messed up, man. You know, you can't cost your employer $787 million in a lawsuit and then say you didn't do nothing wrong. Then they said in the background they was laughing at Donald Trump and hate Donald Trump behind the scenes, but on camera they wasn't. So I think that's that's a base problem with his people and with the Make America Great people. I think that's his problem with that. So with that said,
but you look at Tucker's you look at Tucker's situation too. Tucker, I believe Tucker has 4 daughters, I believe, or 4 children. What is he teaching them? You know, what message is he conveying to them?
I believe is do what you gotta do to get that paper. I mean, let's be for real. I mean, his show wasn't. People thought it was news, but it wasn't exactly. But he was putting it out there like, hey, you know, this is it. You can't always bring on somebody to rebuttal what the president's saying, and he's supposed to be because I don't know if this person was. They just said it. He was a white nationalist or whatever they want to call him. That's the way it goes. And speaking of white nationalists, I got a good question for y'all both in Tennessee. With this gun violence happening, especially in Memphis and Tennessee, and predominantly in the South with these kids shooting up schools and stuff of that nature, why won't they ban assault rifles in southern states? Even in Missouri, where that guy shot that young boy on his steps, on his porch.
I think that they should be banned. And as well as I said before, what is the purpose of having an assault weapon, an AR-15, an Uzi? What is that? What is the purpose? You can't hunt with it. For home protection, that's probably excessive. So what is the purpose of it, man? You know, so unless you're out to do mass harm to mass people. And that's why I think that they should be banned. Do I think that they will be banned? Absolutely not. Because it's like I said last week, man, it's a vicious cycle. You know, whoever has it, whether you're gang members or nationalists, conservatives, liberals, if whatever you have it, the police are going to have them as well, because the police can't have you to have a weapon and they not have the same thing to combat that if they are confronted. So a lot of people say that guns aren't bad. It's the people that have them. But man, what is the purpose of having them without doing massive harm?
And what I say,
you got anything, Doug?
Yeah, what I say is guns don't kill, people kill. Guns don't shoot without some person activating that. So the behavior is what most people are going to continuously try to monitor or to review, but it's after the fact. We need to be more proactive instead of reactive. So in that case, I think, again, the type of guns, people gonna have black markets. There's gonna be black markets out there.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's gonna be from the cartel, drug lords in the drug scenes, or whether it's gonna be on the street, because we have these movies that are really cultivating our culture. We have the rap music that's cultivating our culture. So until we get ready to actually monitor, well, we can't stop freedom of speech. We can't stop freedom, the Constitution to bear arms. Second Amendment. So those are two that we can't do. legally.
Mm.
But as far as monitoring, I think we have to change the culture.
Well, Doug, you hit the nail on the head there too, but I think it starts before that. You know, you got
Yeah.
10 and 11-year-old kids playing Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is mass weapons of destruction, grenade launchers, all of that stuff, man. So until but you look at it, it's sales, it's money, you know. So, you know,
True.
what's the most important deal here? Human lives or the
Well,
almighty dollar?
well,
Well,
Henry, I tell you
presently,
what it
right.
is.
Go
It's
ahead,
about that
Terry.
money, bro. I'm sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
It's about money because we all know that 90% of mass shootings are done by European Americans. And if you don't understand what European American is, Caucasian people. European Americans are 90% of the mass shootings. And since Congress is 80% European Americans, I don't see why they won't ban that gun because it's killing their own people. Now, Duck mentioned earlier about gang banging. You know, they don't care about gang banging. And I understand it. It's not their culture. You know, that's something that we should be advocating against so they can get rid of it in our community. But on just a nationwide thing, when you have I think we had 115 mass shootings since COVID, and 90% of it is European people doing it, American European people doing it. With that right there, that should tell Congress and any state legislation throughout the country that that's a problem. The problem is if the kids get a hold of it, they shoot somebody else, or if they can go out and buy it. I said it on the last show, like Henry said, if you want to get rid of assault weapons, tell people, African Americans. Since I'm using European Americans, I'll say African Americans to go out and buy that same weapon. We've seen it with the Black Panthers, how the FBI in California blackballed the assault rifles when they was carrying M16s back in the day. They banned that kind of gun, but that's because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. People can type in and let me know if I'm wrong. I just think it's because of European Americans' fear of what's going on. There are 30% of the world population. 30%. That means 70% of the world is people of color. So they have a lot to worry about. So before we go to the next segment, let me just give a station break. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. We're talking about gun violence, and I'm gonna let and if you guys got anything to say, we'll continue on gun violence, then we'll go to the juicy stuff.
Okay, I got one little comment. You know, even though we're talking gun violence, let's go ahead and fast forward and get into the next generation of people and the next avenue of what's next, because that's what I think right now it's AR-15. You may mention once before it was the M16, you know, and then the handguns. So you have all of this. But what I want to tell you guys is that I have mostly the fear of when we get into the drone age to where things and people are going to be armed with drones with weapons. What is that going to look like?
Oh, yeah. Well, I always say it. I'm gonna say it, and you can call me what you want to call me, but I'm a realist. If Congress doesn't do something about this kind of stuff, that's the new age. That is definitely the new age. But it's not. I mean, you got 30% of the world population running 100% of all the governments. Maybe I would say 90. I would go back and say that because I forgot about the African nations and so forth and so on. So we'll just say that 30% of those are Caucasians are running 75% of the world's countries. So they need to be making a thing. I mean, you can go across the board. You can go to Europe and you can go back to all the hate crimes that's going on. I still don't understand why the American government hasn't shot some of these groups down like they did the Black Panthers. They won't do it. I mean, you got the National Party, White Party, you got Ku Klux Klan, and you got not neo-Nazis. I mean, I'm all for if they got their little group and they want to hang out and call people names when they drinking beer. I'm all that's that doesn't bother me. But it bothers me when you actually put your belief on the people, and that's what's wrong. I'm not saying that you can't. The amendments tell you can do what you want to do, act like you want to act. But I always say, and J.F. Hoover was one of the guys who proved me correct. If you black and you got an assault rifle, they're gonna come take it from you. Simple as that. So with that being said, let's talk. Anybody's got something on gun control, because you guys have that kind of stuff. We have gang violence out here. We don't really have shootings, and so with gang violence, let's face it, middle stream Americans not worried about you killing your own race. I don't care if you black on black, Mexican on Mexican, they don't care. Even when they start shooting Asian people, they gave a little bit about it, but they really don't care.
And it is funny, and I'm gonna tell you this real quick off the subject a little bit. I went to LA to visit my aunt, and of course I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and the colors we wear are red and white. And I went in this liquor store, and this little young dude, probably 14 or 15, walked up to me and he said, "Yo, OG, what you got that dead on for?" I said, "Hold up, bro. This is a fraternity. Ain't none of that gang shit, stuff, So I had to get him straight set right there. But they understand the fraternity life and so forth. But you step in the wrong area with the wrong colors on, you could be in trouble. And why? You're fighting for a piece of land that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely crazy, man.
That's true. Well, unless Doug got something else, we'll close that subject. We didn't get any our producers. She's not on Facebook and all that, so we don't know if we got any questions, because ain't none of us on Facebook yet. We don't know how to do it other than Doug. Yeah. But let's do a little spicy conversation for a moment. Let's talk about relationships. When I talk to a bunch of the young ladies out here, and I'm sure y'all have the same question, they always want to know why relationships don't work. And I'll let y'all go first on y'all questions, keep them short so we can get some more in there. But I'll save my remark on this first question after you two say what you got to say. So okay. The question is,
I'll start first. In the Memphis area, you go out to a after hours bar for a drink or appetizers or something like that, and you are faced with probably 4-to-1 female. So the young man there, I'm not going to say he has a smorgasbord to choose from, but basically he does. So, and at that age, they're not really concerned about a lasting relationship. They're just there for fun and games and playing. Myself, I've been married for 34 years, 2 children, both are grown adults, and a dog. So, but for me and my personal reasons why the marriage has lasted this long is an open space of communication and putting her first, and she puts me first. So does that work all the time? Absolutely not. We fuss, we argue, and so forth. We used to have a point where we're not going to bed mad. Man, now I get on that side of the bed, sleeping that close to the end, But you got to have an open relationship with communication, be able to talk. The main thing is respect each other, man. Respect who she is, what you are, and do that, man. You got to treat the lady like the queen that she is, and that's the bottom line. She don't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want for nothing. So, but like I said, it's a daily struggle. You got to go in and go out. I won't hog this part, man. But for the young part,
Go ahead.
the young man, the young couples out there, I think they're looking at it at a different age. I got married at 28, I believe. And before 28, dude, man, I did everything under the sun with everybody under the sun. But but I had to slow down and see what I wanted in life, because I know I was getting older and I know I wanted something else in life opposed to that.
Duck, hit him, Duck.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just be nice about this. Talking about relationships, I used to think, should a person ask for permission or forgiveness? Because we as men, we need to be careful about what we're doing when we're doing it. When we're choosing, understand that you have been chosen. Or when we're searching, make sure that our ability is to, people don't have to have these boxes checked. Females love to check boxes. They love to check boxes, I hear. What is it you can do for me? What is it that, how much money you're making? Where are we going? Trips? How secure? So in the elements of a relationship, let's build friendships first. I would think that a person needs to build a friendship. Me and my wife, we've been married for over 44 years. Yes, she's one of my best friends. Only one. Make sure that she's not going to be your only friend, because once you lose your friend, you're a done deal. But you have other friends. We have relationships. So relationships is built on friendship. It's also built on love. So once the thing about it, I'm going to tell you, I love the understanding that love conquers all. Love resolves all things. So once you have love, and it can be blind love. It can be blind love too for some people, Terry. Henry might have that blind love. Somebody love me when I don't love myself. And those are good things to understand. So what do you think about the relationship? Do we have to ask for permission or forgiveness?
One thing too, Doug, before you get it, please forgive me, sir. Man, you hit the nail on the head with starting out as friends, man. Everything, that's where it has to start, man. It has to be a friendship. Now with me, you said you got friends. Now my inner circle is very, very close. I'm sure I'm guarded, I guess you could say, because I don't let a lot of people in my inner circle. Because when you get to my inner circle, you understand me to the fullest. I mean, you're open to everything then. Now, my wife is my friend. She is my best friend. She's my ride or die. That's the bottom line. I'm telling you now. I know one time we were at church one Sunday and the pastor said, "Hey, Brenda, if Henry packs up his clothes and say, I'm gone," she's just going to say, "Where we going?" So, but that's the bottom line, man. But big ups to you, Doc. I like your comment, brother.
I like the comments, fellas, but I'm gonna get raw on them. Just because I'm kind of fed up. I'm kind of fed up on this. All these other shows that I watch on YouTube and all that about relationships, and I think this is for everybody that's looking or in a relationship. If your relationship is going bad, if you need advice, don't go to somebody that don't have a relationship or in a bad relationship, because they're going to give you bad advice. Right. If you listen to these two gentlemen here, they've been married over 30-something years. They got good advice to give to you. But ladies, I'm going to really talk to y'all. I was watching this thing the other day, and this lady said, if he doesn't have enough money to take me here and take me there and all that, we can't get together. Well, then what was Kanye West's song with Jamie Foxx? Gold digger. Call yourself a gold digger. Go to LA or wherever the big city is that's close to you. For me, it's LA, and find you a man that got that kind of money. But you're gonna have to do that kind of thing. So, ladies, don't come out here with good men out here. if you're running in a circle and you still dating in that circle, date out your circle. Maybe there's a good man outside your circle, but slow down on your getting information from other people. I always said this before we continue this. If I was going to give out advice, I give out what you don't do, because I'm not an expert on how to keep a relationship, marriage, whatever, perfect, but I know how to tear one up. So I tell all my young kids that I talk to, I say, hey man, don't do this, don't do that, because that's the only advice I can give them, literally, because that's what I know where I messed up. So with that being said, I'll let y'all run again. Hold on. Thanks for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. And you listen to Out of Bounds. I just spilled my guts of T-Rex. So fellas, when you on this segment right here, y'all got good marriages. Tell them what not to do or what to do. But it ain't got to come from you. You just say what you did earlier to make your marriage work. But let's just talk about dating for a minute, because nobody hits on the beginning. When you date someone, and we all have done it, wives, girlfriend, doesn't matter. At first, you go out, and if you're a young person, which most young people do date, you ain't got no money. So that's a downfall. And I say this to say this again. Don't go dig. If you like a person and you understand his financial situation or her financial situation, either go Dutch or you pay one time, he pay one time. That's all I got to say on that. What you guys got to say about me? Real quick, just dating. Just real quick.
You make a good point there too. You make a good point, man. Also, for the young ladies too, don't look at the outward appearance of a person. Look at his content of his character. Get to know him. He may pull up in a whatever that little Yugo. He may pull up in a Yugo, and may be a ditch digger. You know what I'm saying? But look at the content of his character. Look at his heart. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is get to know him. You know what I'm saying? Don't shun him, or don't close the door on him because you are a lawyer or a teacher or something, and he's not at your standards. Who's to say just because he's a ditch digger today that he's not going to be a lawyer tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Because he's working on fries. Don't worry, he'll be moving way up from them fries.
There you go, brother. There you go. But that's what I'm saying.
Moving up from the fries.
But look at his heart. Look at his content of his character. So, and you can tell. Then you may be, hey, okay, I'm moving on, bro. This is not what I want. I need to move in another direction because I want something in life. What do you want in life? You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to have. So that's what you got to do.
I got another question for you. Maybe you can answer this one.
Go ahead, Jerry.
What about dating outside your race? Is that a big problem? I put that one on you, bro.
No, that shocked me. I have to take 10 seconds to think about that, because one thing about anything, whether some people look at it, are you equally yoked? And that's what Henry was talking about. Are you able to understand what makes you happy? Because it's not about the actual economics that make you happy. It's about your peace. How do you find peace? So can you find peace outside of your race? Yes. Can you find love outside your race? That's stretching for me to understand, because that means you have really allowed yourself to be open-minded. So people that are open-minded can find love. Now, if you're closed or you're looking for a goal, maybe you're looking for something called equally yoked. From my understanding, most females either look for someone that they already know that has been a role model for them, the men in their lives, whether it's the father, uncles, pastors, preachers, teachers, professionals, something. They might even look for a Denzel Washington, but they need to know Denzel's story. They need to understand Sidney Poitier's story. They understand Michael Jordan's story. Because I understand if you date outside your race, you've also understanding what you're looking for in that person. I want somebody to take care of me and to love me for me.
I
I
understand.
agree.
I understand exactly what you guys are talking about, and I'm going to do it on a different spin here. You say date outside your race. We've got to realize we're all a part of the human race. That's the one thing now,
That's a
Duck.
good one.
Duck, I'm gonna ask you two questions, Ducks, and it's real simple. What color is that, Duck?
Blue.
No.
On my screen is blue.
Okay. It's white.
It's white.
It's white. And this is black.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm not this color. Okay. I don't know anybody this color. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is the pigmentation in my body is higher than the pigmentation or the melanin in their body. And if you cut me, you cut whomever, we're going to bleed red. We're a part of the human race, God's race. We're all God's creatures, man. You know, and when people we can cry together. You can take a black baby and a white baby, lay them in a crib beside each other. All they're gonna do is cry, sleep, eat, boo-boo, pee, and do whatever. When they get up, they can't live together because they got issues with one's black and one's white. When we die, you can bury a black person next to a white person. You're just gonna have two dead people laying there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why can't we live together when we are living in and as adults? You know, when you die, you're gonna have a start date, a dash, and an end date. It's the
Right.
dash. It's the dash that determines your character,
All
and that's
right.
what we get. That's what we got to get to, man.
Well,
That's what we got to get to.
I think that y'all hit a little bit, but I'm not. When I said interracial marriage and dating, all that, I use the term because that's what the term is in the dictionary. I agree with you, Henry, that we are one race. I agree with you, Duck, what you were saying. But I think the biggest problem is that, you know, if you stuck on someone that looks like you, then continue to look. But if you are still dating in that same arena and you're not finding somebody, then maybe you should step out your arena. I'm not saying, you know, I know a lot of people don't want to date outside their so-called race because they think that's not what they're looking for and all that. I can only speak for myself. I think a woman's a woman. Okay. And as long as she's treating you good, I don't care if she's from Belize or from Germany. I really don't care. As long as
Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Ja, die Gays sprechen Deutsch, wie geht's ja?
Oh,
But what I'm
jawohl,
saying
jawohl.
is, what I'm saying is, I just think that you should find somebody that you truly care about and work on it and be honest. But I say again, when you have problems, don't you go somebody professional that does it. Don't listen to your friends telling you this, because women, we had a lot of ladies on the show. They want to talk about was relationships, and I understand why. And I know they listen. I'll just want them to understand that I wish I had the answers to tell everybody on dating. I really do, because I think dating's a major thing, especially when you get over in your 40s and up. Because in your 40s and up, 9 times out of 10, you're going to date a woman that has children. That 1% may not have children. 9 times out of 10, you're going to think someone that probably makes a little more money than you. So it's a lot of things that you have to overcome. But I think that's part of the conversation, as you said, Doug. When you sit down that first date, that's the kind of conversation you want. If money is important to you, then you ask him what his 401k look like. If his race is more important to you, you look what he's got. If he's, hey, screen him on one of them dating sites. Do you got a house? Do you got a car? Do you got a job? Who you work for? All those things, so that when you get there, you don't hurt that person or the other person. All I can say on this dating thing is this, then I'll let you guys talk. Please do not talk to your friends. If they're in a long-lasting relationship, I recommend getting information from them. If they're not, then I would recommend getting information from them, because, hell, I can't even keep a long relationship going myself, so I ain't gonna tell you how to do it. All right, fellas, go back to y'all. What y'all got to say on that part right there?
I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'll be through. A woman has the same needs as a man does. Point blank. She has the same
No, they
needs,
don't.
wants, and desire. I think so. Okay. Same wants.
Okay.
Same,
Well, hit him hard, Terry.
same wants.
That was
and
an
needs.
outburst. My bad. That was an outburst.
But however, I think she loves deeper than a man does. You know, so you cannot have a good without a bad. You can't have an up without a down. So, you know, there it is, man. That's the bottom line. So, duck.
Well, I don't know. Relationship is nothing like animals. We're a unique breed. You say human race. Now, I've never seen a cow and a sheep get together. I've never seen too many dogs and cats get together. I've never seen monkeys of different types get together. Lions get together with different cats. So, in that sense, look at the creation of all things and understand one thing. If we get some communication, if I can find out how I can ask for permission rather than forgiveness, if I find out how I can ask and hear, because you have to be able to listen to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Should I ask someone what their credit scores are in a relationship, or what time do I do that? You have to know what you want, your own desires. I said something about that checkbox, that checklist. Everybody's got a checklist now. Let's make sure we're actually able to check our own boxes first.
Well, that checklist, Doug, I hate to say, but when you sit there and you know you 5'2", and you check all the boxes but the height one, you look for somebody 6 foot.
You don't get chose. You don't get chose.
Should you get mad? Should you get mad? No, you shouldn't get mad. But when you get in a relationship and then they settle for a minute, you know, and then you're in a relationship and it doesn't work, it's a whole thing, you know. I just want ladies to understand that. I want them to be happy.
But Terry,
especially my friend.
Terry, you just mentioned that 5'2". Have you seen that midget that was in a car driving a Lamborghini and he's sitting up on stilts and he's up here and he pull up on this girl and the girl is like, hey, you know, he's got all the features upper body wise. She said, hey, why don't you park your car and get on out and come see me? And the only thing she was looking at was he was a good looking man. He had a good looking car. And now I'm trying to make sure we can get together. He steps out and she's talking about, no, get back in the car because he's that short. He's a midget. Or he didn't make the box. He didn't check the box. So if you don't check the box, yes, I think you have to keep pushing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. My freshman year at Austin P. Now I'm 6'3". Okay, my freshman year at Austin P. Little Jennifer, little Jennifer was probably 5'1" and drove me crazy.
Well, that's that. Do you marry little Jennifer though? Did you?
No.
She didn't check them boxes. That's what I'm saying. She didn't check the boxes. That's all I got to say.
She didn't check the box.
And I'm not mad. You know what? I'm not mad at women, especially professional women, that have a list of what a man's supposed to do. And if he doesn't check your boxes, that's fine. But don't say there's no good men out there, because they are. They might not just check all those boxes. They might not check all those boxes. You know, you might want a man with hair, and the only one on here with hair is Duck. You know, so you didn't kick 2 out. You see, I'm just giving you examples. That's all I'm saying, ladies. In relationships, I understand you got your checks, you got your box to be checked. So if you want a man with hair, call Duck. But if you want a good man, that you should, you know, be a little lenient on the fellas, man. You know, especially over 40. We all got baggage after 40. Maybe most of us after 20, but we got baggage. So all I'm gonna say to the ladies and to the ones that really know me well, if you need advice, find somebody that's got a working marriage and see what they did. Ask somebody that's been dating for quite a long time. How's that relationship working? If we asking somebody in our friendship that in a relationship for 2-3 months, then it falls out, then obviously you're not asking the right person. And most of the women that I know are educated well beyond, and they're smart women, they're career women, and I think they have a box that they want to check. You know, I'm not going to call out their names; they know who they are. But sometimes to get your box checked, he might not be that type of guy you're looking for. Might not look the way you want, might not be built the way you want. But if he still has, 90% of those box checked, buy some stilts and see what goes on. And with that said, if you guys got anything going on in your neighborhood before we get out of here, because I'm sure my phone's going to be blowing up here in a minute. So, so y'all got anything y'all want to say? Because relationships is like, God, that's the biggest thing on all the YouTubes and Instagrams and all that kind of stuff that's running around.
No, but I got this situation that I was very pleased to recognize. I got a godson that just proposed last week to his significant other. And he showed me 2 rings. One was a candy ring and said, I'm going to offer this one first. And the other one was the real diamond. So he said to me, which one would she take? I said, she should take both of them coming from you. But he wanted to make sure that she was going to say yes. So what had happened was, after he told me she said yes, I had to ask him, did you have any doubt in your mind that she wasn't going to say yes? Because a lady knows what she's getting from a relationship when she knows you as the man. And always men, always be a man.
All right, Henry, that's on you.
No, I'm good, bro. Doug said it all. I can't follow that. I can't follow that. That's just like coming behind. That's just like coming behind Ricky Smiley or Dave Chappelle. I can't do it, bro.
Well, we're gonna close out on Duck, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel of global reach. And thank you very much. And I hope you tune back into Out of Bounds with myself, T-Rex, and my 2 frat brothers, Lionel and Henry. We won't call them by Duck and Big Hen, but that's who they are. So with that saying, peace out, everybody. And I wish you very well in your relationships. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. She's probably still partying and drinking. Let's see what she says. Well, I guess we can dance. I don't know. But if you're still live, I'm looking at it.
Yes, I was listening to Grover Washington. So does music help in a relationship? The type of music that you bring to the table?
I believe it does. I believe it does.
So you're wanting to set the mood, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to the club, it's a certain club that you go to. You go to the jazz club to meet the jazz lady. You don't go to hip hop, and that's the other thing. Know your environment.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Know your environment.
I agree with you.
But some people just want that bad boy. So they gotta
True.
Dude, I mean, I'm trying it.
There she is.
We must be done. Okay. Are we done? We must be done. No, it still says live.